Just filtering a liter of water. I actually have a good shot of getting out of camp at 6:30 today. Bear can's back on top because I have chafing and saddle sores from where the pack was fitting on my back with the hard-sided bear can in the middle of it, full of food. So the sleeping pad's gonna go back on the bottom and hopefully we don't lose it. We are back on trail. 6:36. The reason we didn't get out at 6:30 is because I was talking to my friends who snuck into camp at about 8 or 9 without me knowing. But I was in my tent by then. I think I'm 33 miles away from Blue Blaze to get to the camps where you can sleep before you summit Whitney. So I want to take as big a chunk out of that as I can. I can't remember, maybe 3 or 5 miles from 2 water sources, depending upon which one I choose to go to. One is a half mile off trail, the other is a quarter mile. So I had climbed about 2 miles last night before I got to camp, and then just picked up right where I left off. So I'm glad I got that 2 miles out of the way. I don't know how much climbing I have to do. I haven't looked. I don't know if I want to know. I'll just climb until it's done. I assume somewhere around the water might level off or go back down a little bit. So I've just been hiking for 45 minutes. It's leveled off for now. I've gone down a little bit. I am just under 2 miles from the first water source that is about a half mile off the trail. And then I'm just under 4 miles from the second water source. So an hour or 2 hours, I have just under a liter of coffee. I've had a liter. I'm in good shape. I think I'm going to push on to the second water source, get there in a couple hours. And then from there, I'm going to take 2 liters because the water source after that is about 8 miles. And I'll look back into it. I looked yesterday, but I have a bad memory. I'll look back into it as the day unfolds and make sure I'm in good shape. But for right now, you have to go a little off trail for the water, but still feeling like I'm in pretty good shape with water. Almost missed this. This is the second water source. I definitely missed the first one. So I read on far out that they're a little easy to miss. So it wasn't too bad. A little bit of a downhill, so we'll do a slide up. It's over here somewhere. Should just keep following the trail. Once I get to the next water source, earlier I thought that would be the halfway point, give or take, for the day. And I don't know how many miles I'll push past that, but I do want to take as big of a reasonable chunk out of the remaining distance between me and getting to a camp close to the Whitney Trail, because I like the idea of scaling back. So I had a big day yesterday. I feel fine. Pack feels good. I think I like the pack better with the bear can empty on top and the food in a bag inside the pack. And then I have my sleeping pad on the bottom. I just have to reach for it to make sure I didn't lose it because it is a risk to fall off. I have to tinker with those straps and see if I can't get them to fasten tighter. So this is the Cottonwood Pass. And you'd go that way to access Lone Pine. So I'm going this way. So at one point I was thinking about going to Cottonwood Pass and going into Lone Pine and just carrying 2 days worth of food, 2.5 days worth of food out of Kennedy Meadows. And I changed my mind and decided to head to Kearsarge Pass and try to get to Independence or Bishop and carry 6.5 days worth of food. And so far so good, so I'm glad I did. The true test will be coming out of Whitney after I attempt the summit. I still have to figure out Forester Pass and how close I can get to that and how early I can do that to make life easier. So everybody's staying here. I thought I read in Far Out that you're not supposed to, but a lot of PCT hikers do things they're not supposed to do. And I'm not a ranger, so I'm gonna mind my business. But I got what I needed. It's 4 o'clock. I'm gonna head out and get 4 more miles. Plus, ooh, look, there's a little chipmunk. Are you a little chipmunk that was messing around with my pack when I was in the water? That happened. A chipmunk was messing around with my pack when I was in the water. And it looks like this guy. He looks guilty. But yeah, everybody's there. And they potentially could be a loud crowd. So I was never going to stay here anyway, but I'm not part of the popular crowd, so I'm definitely not staying here if I had changed my mind. And I see somebody going through, I don't know who it is, so not everybody's staying here, but talked to 2 people that are heading to the campsite I was thinking about heading towards, and it's marked as 5. I'm sure you can fit more in there, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people there, because it's a smart thing to do if you want to set yourself up for a lighter day tomorrow, or if you're planning on summiting Whitney like I am. So I think it's a smart thing to do. It's my plan. I have a really hard time following this blue blaze to get to the Chicken Spring Lake. I didn't follow it correctly on the way in, and I didn't follow it correctly on the way out. But I'm on it now. So 4 leisurely miles to get to camp. I should be there by 6. I have a liter of coffee. If the mood strikes me, I'll push, but I should just take it easy. That dip, I was reluctant because it's not warm. The sun's behind clouds. But that was good. That was good for me. I needed it too. I mean, I haven't bathed in 4 days, but it was therapeutic. I feel rejuvenated. I thought my friends were going to camp here, but I don't think they did. I think they pushed on the extra 1.3, which makes sense. They got here before me. I got water. Mother Nature's making a lot of noise. I don't know if it's going to rain or not, but I beat the rain as far as setting the tent up goes. And now I'll try to beat the rain for dinner. But the more I keep saying beat the rain, the more I'm tempting fate. So it's super early. It's 7:30. I've been in my tent since like 7:15, maybe even earlier. I was just looking at far out. So I'm 11 miles away from Whitney. And I'll be there early tomorrow resting and trying to set up a good attempt to summit. And then, depending upon how early I can get up there Tuesday and get down, it's only like 7 miles to the closest marked tent site on far out, which is 5 miles away from Forester Pass. So that seems really doable to set up going over Forester Pass early on the 5th day and just go as far as I can. And then I can make it to the ways into Kearsarge Pass. I'll pick which one I think is best depending upon how many miles I have to go and how much food I have. So feeling pretty confident that the plan should work out.